With the 2022 Vikings training camp upon us, who on the Vikings is injured and who's coming off of injury? That's all up next. Welcome to Minnesota Sports Talk. I'm your host, Dave. You can follow me on Twitter, TikTok, and Facebook at SkullWorld. And make sure you click subscribe, like, and comment below. That will enter you in my contest. I have the rules in the description below. Now, let's talk about Minnesota Vikings injury list report. Now, I'm also going to have a little surprise for you at the end, just a little extra news that might help out on where you think the Vikings are compared to the Packers right now. Now, just to get started, Irv Smith Jr. didn't play last year. He was famously working very hard in preseason, was doing awesome. Everybody was raving about him. Didn't get to play the whole season. It was a big downer for us, but a good thing came out of it. Conklin ended up being pretty good tight end, signed a big deal. He's pretty happy about it. So, and he was a great player, and God bless Tyler Conklin. He's going to be a good football player. I'm going to miss him. But Irv Smith Jr. could be an elite tight end. He's on nobody's top 10 list. You know, he's done dirty in Madden. He just hasn't been able to show anything. We had Kyle Rudolph ahead of him, even though Kyle Rudolph was in the downturn of his career. He just didn't get to see even when he was healthy, he didn't get to see too many snaps because we just don't like, rookies and younger players on this team for some reason, at least under Zimmer. But that's all changed with Connelly, or O'Connell, ready to take over the reins. He says he's been itching for this date since July 4th. He's been ready to get started. Now he gets his chance. So Irv Smith Jr. reported to be healthy. Kevin O'Connell said he was proud of him and proud of the job that the training staff has done, strength and conditioning coach, that we got Irv Smith Jr. fully healthy, and they have a plan for him. I don't think they're going to use him very hard. I think they're going to rest him in certain parts of practice, but he's a full go. He's expected to be healthy for the season. He's not on the injury list. Irv Smith Jr., let's go, man. Now, there were a couple of players that didn't play in spring practices, and one of those was Ihmir Smith-Marsette, who's expected to be, many people think expect to be a breakout player this year. He was able to show himself in the last game against the Bears, over 100 yards, and I think 2 touchdowns, 1 or 2 touchdowns, I think. And he basically saved the game for us. Kirk Cousins had an awesome second half. He was able to connect on Ihmir Smith-Marsette. Plus, in college, he was a return guy. So maybe he mixes in with that punt return because we don't have one right now. But Ihmir Smith-Marsette was the front runner to be our 4th receiver. He's going to be fighting off, BC Johnson and Jalen Naylor is the 2 guys I have fighting over that job. But we got the deepest receiving core with Ihmir Smith-Marsette as our 4th receiver. We got the deepest receiving core in the league. Now, the other guy, and I'll say their status here after I talk about the other guy, KJ Osborne. Both these guys were injured, didn't play in the spring practices. But KJ Osborne, number 3 receiver, who's got a better number 3 than us? I don't know. Hopefully he steps up. When Thielen was injured, he didn't show out too great, but when he's in there at the 3rd receiver in single coverage, KJ Osborne can play. And we got a lot going for us with our 3rd receiver being KJ Osborne. Honestly, Ihmir Smith-Marsette, Jalen Naylor, BC Johnson, all fighting for that 3rd receiver spot. KJ doesn't have it in the bag, but considering how far he jumped from his rookie year where he didn't do anything, looked terrible, even in preseason terrible, couldn't return anything. He'll be trying to fight for the punt return job too, I believe. To the second year where he amazed in practice and preseason and was able to win that 3rd receiving job. both KJ Osborne and Amir Smith-Marset healthy. Not on an injury report. Expect to be full go in practice. So that's awesome. And we've seen, I think it was KJ in a walking boot, if I'm not mistaken. Or was it Amir Smith-Marset? I forget. I think it was Amir Smith-Marset had a walking boot. Both these guys didn't participate in spring practices. Now they're fully healthy. That's awesome. Here's a guy I like. I think a lot of him. He's a great person. He's also a very good singer. He's I don't know if you've ever seen him sing, but he's pretty awesome at it. His dad was an NFL player, and this is Blake Proehl. He's a guy I think is athletic, runs good route, good leaping ability, great hands. He mossed people in college. It's just he didn't have quarterbacking to go with his ability, that he didn't have a ton of yards in college. But I think this guy's an NFL player. But unfortunately, he is on the PUP list, physically unable to perform. That does not mean he's going to miss the season. It means he's going to have a late start trying to win a job with the Vikings. I really like him to be a practice squad guy again. If I was another NFL team weak on receiver, Packers, I would be looking to steal this guy from us. Honestly, I'm a big fan of Blake Proehl. As a person, he's a good locker room guy. The teammates love him. I think he's great to hang around as a Viking. This may be an Adam Thielen situation. He has ability. Thielen came out of nowhere. Maybe this guy comes out of nowhere, but hey, he's going to start on the practice squad, much like Thielen got cut, put on the practice squad, and the next year made the 53. That could be a situation maybe a year later than Thielen. Not saying that he's as good as Thielen. Not many people are, but I would like to see it. I really like to see this guy succeed. Another guy, Ryan Connelly, veteran, 4-year veteran, has been on some teams. I think he played with Tomlinson in New York, New York Giants. But this guy is, I think, a camp body. I don't think he's gonna make the team. I believe we brought him in for depth. We didn't have it, and then we got like a Mintz and things like that to fill out the linebacking core. I just don't see him making it. It's a 53-man roster. It's going to be hard to. You can put veterans on the practice squad. We'll see. It might be good to put a linebacker like him on the practice squad if we can, just for the fact that we aren't that deep at, say, middle linebacker, as far as veterans go and proven players. So he might be a good idea to keep him around, but I don't know if he's going to make this team, especially since he's also on the PUP list, physically unable to perform. It doesn't mean he's going to miss games, but he's going to get a late start trying to win that job. Now, the last thing I want to talk about, you're never going to be excited for teams with injury, but if the team seems to be in a situation, you're not opposed to the fact that you're in a better situation than them. That leads me to the Packers PUP list. Yes, you're looking at it. It is huge. The guy couldn't even finish it on his tweet. We got Kalen Hill. Let me move this over so I can see it better. So we got Kalen Hill, running back Kalen Hill, running back Patrick Taylor, both on the PUP list. Sammy Watkins on the non-football injury list. Christian Watson's the big one on the PUP list. Tight end Robert Tonyan on the PUP list. Left tackle, this is a big one, David Bakhtiari on the PUP list. Right tackle Elgton Jenkins is on the PUP list. Tackle Rasheed Walker, non-football injury list. Caleb Jones, NFI. Dean Lowry, defensive line, PUP list. Outside linebacker Randy Ramsey on the PUP. Outside linebacker Khalif Bryce on the non-football injury list. Cornerback Cassine Nixon, not sure if I said that right, NFI, and the kicker Mason Crosby. Not too good to have your kicker on the PUP list, especially when he's older veteran. Now, for some reason I didn't have it here, But I think I had one more player. Let me see if we had one more player, Nate Harrison, who is a veteran cornerback. For some reason, I didn't upload him. But Nate Harrison, kind of a journeyman cornerback now. We brought him in because of Ed Donatel defense. He played over in Denver. He's had some spot play and played a lot of special teams. So he might be able to beat out one of the cornerbacks at the end of the roster. We'll see. I don't know if that's possible. I like the group that we have, but we brought him in. He knows the defense. It was a good move, one of our off-season moves, but he's on the non-football injury list. I do not know how he got injured. It's not been reported, but Nate Harrison is not going to be starting training camp. So that's it for this report. Minnesota Vikings injury report. This is Minnesota Sports Talk. I'm your host, Dave. You can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, at Skull World. Make sure you hit subscribe, like, and comment. Leave your comments. Tell me what you think of these players and see if they have any chance of making it. And then, leave that comment that enters you in my contest. See you next time. I'm about to go live on Purple Pocket Podcast, or Skull Live show. Soon. When you've seen this, I probably have already done it. Go over on the Purple Pocket Podcast, ring that bell so you don't miss a show, and that way you can participate in our live show. We love talking to you guys. That's it for tonight. Skull Vikings. Have a great day.